Hey guys, hoping my camera will work a few more times. We finally got over to Nonsense from AutoZone, got that tail housing repaired, and got the right seal, got a gasket kit for the transfer case, new clutch, new front seal on the tranny, new rear seal on the crankshaft, new pressure plate, throwout bearing. Now I'm at drive shafts. Bear with me, this is going to be a little strange. Okay. This is, of course, the drive shaft that's original to the truck, and the yoke, or whatever the hell, the U-joint. You can see it's a bit too long. This U-joint is bigger than this one, so I can't just press that out and stick it into this yoke. But at least, well, I don't think you'd want two telescoping parts on your drive shaft. I don't know if that'd hurt anything, but I'm just gonna use this one here because that'll give you your telescoping as the suspension's moving around and stuff. Now, my tubing cutter won't go out big enough to do that, so I'm figuring I can do that on the bandsaw. You can make poker chips on that thing even with the blade being screwed up. So I'm not worried too much about getting a fairly decent square cut. What I do have to do, Jiminy Christmas, I gotta make a plug or a sleeve or a something for when I get rid of this that'll make it fit squarely and tightly into this end of the drive shaft when I weld it. And then I'll have to do something on the front shaft as well, but we'll get that when we get it, right? And the front one ought to bolt right up, I hope, and I got a section of front drive shaft from another truck, and I ought to be able to just splice that together, make a plug that goes inside of the shaft or a sleeve that goes outside. And I'm not too worried about balance. A long time ago I got a video converting a Mercedes-Benz 300D or 300TD something to a stick shift, and we had to make the drive shaft 4 inches shorter, and that actually came out real nice. We had it running on the lathe, full speed on the lathe, and you could barely see that it was out at all. You'd run it up to 70 miles an hour on the highway and you couldn't feel anything. That doesn't mean it wasn't out of balance, but it worked. If it works, it's perfect. Until it don't work, then it's not perfect. Anyway, I'll continue looking and thinking and scratching my head till I hopefully figure something out, and I'll get back when I've got something, hopefully. Okay, so I got half plan. I got the sliding end in my 4-jaw here, and I got that within 1.5 thousandths, so that's really good. This part right here is giving me a little trouble trying to indicate it. It's all just pitted and rusted to hell, and it's just deceptive. What I've been doing is going off of this surface right here. It's too damn rough to get my dial indicator to work on it, so I'm just sort of running the tip in real close and just seeing where it drags and moving it accordingly till I get it real dang close, which it already is probably, I don't know. I don't know, but that's my thing. I'm gonna get this cut down as good as I possibly can and get a big chunk of steel, bore it so that the ID will slip over this, nice tight press fit, and then the OD of that chunk will slip in to that drive shaft. So, lordy. Wish me luck, huh? Okay. I don't know if you can see or not. I got that cutter in there real dang close. There we go. Jeez, I don't know, maybe might be running 5/1000ths of an inch and it's just barely grazing. You can't go by this that I already cut. That was just getting crap out of the way. So I'm hoping this surface that I got the cutter up against is fairly precise. I believe it is. I mean, it's a forging. I don't know if it was machined off or not, but I don't know. We're just going to go with it, huh? See what happens. I got it on back gear. I swapped the cutter out for one that seems biased toward one direction. I have it on the back gear because I'm going right through a weld right now, and it's some pretty good stuff, and I don't have carbide. Well, I do have some carbide bits, but somehow they're junk. I don't get it. Well, of course, they're Harbor Freight crap, something, whatever, but I don't know. It sounds like hell, but it's doing the job, and all I needed to do was just chew it down. Oh, God, what am I doing? Yep, all right. I guess even Chinese carbide is still carbide, because damned if it ain't doing a nice job. I found one of them that was still intact. I had got these, boy, when I first got the lathe and didn't know what I was doing, and I broke most of them. Still got one left, so this'll face it down, or this'll cut it down nice and give me a nice surface to work on, and doing the job. So good thing there. All right. So now that we got everything kind of dressed up, I actually have to extend the drive shaft, I guess. I mean, I could pull it out a little bit on this. This looks, right here, this looks like about where the thing was traveling in and out as the suspension went. And I could certainly pull it out a little bit, but I'm not going to gain all that. If I pull it back to try and get back to the drive shaft. Right there, I could just about butt weld it, but we're just hanging on by the toenails of them splines, and I don't like that. So I'm going to have to come up with a way to extend that. Likely just the plug, and I'll make the plug stick out to about there or so, and it'll all be good somehow. So the OD on this stuff is 3.5. Local shop doesn't have any of that, so we just got some 4-inch round. Well, we're getting some 4-inch round, and we'll slice this off just as close to the weld as I can get. I don't cut off any more than I have to. Now that I'm, and somehow this will work out. Let's go. about 5 minutes to get through there. Alright, we got a big goddamn hunk of steel here. Glad I fixed my carriage lock. Glad I fixed my cross feed. Power cross feed. Still running the Chinese carbide, so if it works, it's perfect. Should be on dead center there. I just ran it against the grinder and I'll dress it up a little bit. This is going to be a lot of work on this little lathe. We'll get there. Making progress. Okay. Yeah, another thing. When you go to get your stock, bring a ruler or tape measure or something. I asked them for 5 inches. And of course their bandsaw, cuts like a piece of, makes it look like salami or something. It's all slanted and out of kilter. So it might have been at its longest point 5 inches, but when I'm done facing it off, it's going to be about 4 3/4, which I can work with, but bring a ruler.